Today we are going to be randomly merging NBA teams on NBA 2K25, which means half the league will basically be gone, garbage trash. They're not going to make the playoffs, and we are going to create some super teams, but it's not going to be by my choice. It's not going to be by your choice. We're going to use a random wheel, but before we get there, make sure you guys subscribe, like and comment as well. If you comment your favorite moment or a picture of a player, it could potentially be on the wall for a future video. But yeah, let's get right into it with our wheel. We've got all 30 teams on a wheel. Each team gets picked once, and basically I will create the team by taking probably the six best players of one team and swapping it out with the six worst players on the other team to create our new super team. And obviously, some teams are going to be better. That's the random aspect. There are some teams like Utah where their six best players might be the Oklahoma City Thunder's, you know, eighth best players. Like it just there's different, teams, different skill around the league, but we're gonna waste no time and get right on into it. So our first team is going to be the Atlanta Hawks. So we've got Hawks, and who will be joining them? All right, here we go. Spin number 2. Who will be joining the Atlanta Hawks? The Indiana Pacers. Injuries will be off for this video, so everybody will be at full strength. Everyone will be. We're gonna use probably the current rosters, so the rookies and stuff. People on new teams are in there. But our first team of our new merge is the Sacramento Kings. And the team that will be joining the Sacramento Kings is the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets. Okay. Obviously, like as this goes, we can be like, oh, hey, that's another center to be with Jokic, whatever. But we're not really going to see it until you look at it all in one place. So the Hornets, one of the weaker teams in the league for sure. And who will be joining them? It will be the New York Knicks. Most likely the team that gets landed on first will probably be the team that the players will go to. But I do want to be able to have so it's going to be an uneven amount. So like 8 teams out east, 7 teams out west, or 7 teams out east and 8 out west, whatever it is. But the Pelicans are our next team. Let's see who's going to be joining Zion and company. It is going to be the Toronto Raptors, 2 teams that have an insane amount of wing play, and they are merging together. Next, Dallas, who's going to be joining the Kyrie, Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, who's going to be joining them? It will be almost was the Oklahoma City Thunder, but Magic. That's a scary team. That might be the best team we've made so far without looking too deep into it. Next is going to be the OKC, or the Thunder, I mean, not the OKC. And joining them will be, oh my goodness, the reigning NBA champions get Victor Wembanyama to join them, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and everything in between. The Clippers, who made a ton of moves this offseason, is going to be merging with the Chicago Bulls. Could be better, of course. So let's see. Next is Brooklyn. Yep. The Nets. And the team that will be joining them is the Los Angeles Lakers. Ooh, I mean, hey, Claxton ended up on the Lakers, I guess. Or I guess Claxton ended up with LeBron and Luka. Interesting. Grizzlies are our next team, and they are going to be joined by the Bucks. Or is it going to go to the Timberwolves? The Bucks, a front court of Jaren and Giannis. Our next team looks like it's going to be Houston. Kevin Durant signing there, of course. And who is going to be joining them? It'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Whoa. Now that is a team. You add Kevin Durant to the Cleveland Cavaliers, Amen Thompson. That's something special. Portland is our next team. We've still got a little bit of firepower up there. Timberwolves. So Dame will be on the Timberwolves. That was something that was rumored. Because Dame and Drew are still, they're technically on the team still, so they will be a part of that team. Miami. So the Heat will be joined by, I mean, there's still some good talent. The Celtics, the Sixers, the Warriors. They will be getting the Golden State Warriors. Interesting. So we are down to our last 6 teams. We've got some bottom of the league talent in there in Utah and Washington. And we got some pretty good playoff type talent between 76ers, who we just got, who could be playoff, I'm saying. Celtics, Pistons, Suns, who knows what they'll be doing, but they will be joining the Pistons. 2 red, white, and blue teams. And then basically this last spin will determine our next 2 teams. The Washington Wizards. It would be something if they just get paired with Utah, but 1 in 3 chance there, 2 bad teams getting paired together, and it actually is going to happen, which means that our last team is going to be the Suns and the Celtics. All right, so we've got our pairings. I'm going to put this into 2K, and we are going to see what team is the best. I am saying while I'm creating the roster, I am realizing that free agency technically is not done. So players like Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, Cam Thomas, Russell Westbrook, Al Horford, those are players that are all going to enter the league, enter our merged league as free agents, so they can be picked up by anybody. All right, so we are here. Basically, if you see a team with a check, that means they are the team that's got all of the merged players on it. So we're down to the Sixers, Celtics, Clippers, Grizzlies, Hawks, Heat, Hornets, Kings, Mavericks, Nets, Pelicans, Rockets, Thunder, Blazers, and Wizards. Basically, those are 8 West teams and 7 East teams, obviously, because we split the team in half. That means that there's 15 teams. So there is going to be one of these unselected teams in the playoffs. We'll just see who it'll have to be. I'm not going to show you their rosters because, well, they're not very good. So we're going to start from this side and go backwards because the Wizards are probably the worst team. So I want to get them out the way. But as I was saying before, Josh Giddey, these guys are all free agents. I turned off salary cap for this because, well, I had to make the trades. Financial rules were off. So these guys probably will get signed at some point. They might go to a bum team. Not my problem. If they go to a good team, then they go to a good team. But so basically what happened is if I traded with, so like the Wizards and the Jazz were one of our team. Basically, the worst player on the Wizards would be the highest overall on the Jazz. So that it doesn't necessarily mean that there are an equal amount of people from the Jazz and the Wizards on the team. It just means that the worst overall on the good team would be the best overall on the bad team that we changed with. So there might be some ties and stuff. I don't know who the worst player on a bad team is. I think like towards the top is like Taylor Hendricks around a 77 or something like that, who's still on the Jazz. But some teams traded a lot of players. So it's like the Nets and the Lakers were a team where the Nets were like, there were tons of players sub 75 overall. So a lot of the Nets and Lakers conjoined team is a lot of Lakers players. So it's just how it worked out. So I want to show. So this is our first team. Before I start simulating, I will make the lineups appropriate, but I'm just going to show you the teams. Let me put myself in the corner so I'm not blocking anything. Chris Middleton, Markkanen, CJ McCollum, Walker Kessler, and Alex Sarr, the top 5 over here. Probably going to be the worst team that you see today. But like, again, the Warriors are not a team. 76 overall. So the team that whatever, I think Miami, their worst overall is either a 76 or higher, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Portland, Anthony Edwards, Damian Lillard, Denny Adia, Drew Holiday, and Julius Randle round out the top 5 over there. Next, the Oklahoma City Thunder, that was the Oklahoma City Spurs, I should say, with Shea and Vic on the same team. Yeah. So is J-Dub, so is De'Aaron, so is Chet. So they're going to have a front court of Vic and Chet. They might average 7 blocks a game between the two of them. And that doesn't even count for Hartenstein's off the bench. Lou Dort's still off the bench. Alex Caruso. Like, they've got almost 80 overalls. Next is the Houston Cavaliers, where it is basically Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson joining with the Elite 4 of the Cavaliers. Obviously, Sengun's still here, Tari Eason. But yeah, this team seems crazy. Well, again, I will mess with the lineups because I don't know if Amen Thompson will be coming off the bench or not. But yeah. Next, we've got the New Orleans Raptors. So Zion and Ingram back together. Ingram back in New Orleans, which I'm sure he's not happy about. But yeah, again, a lot of like wing play over here. Not an amazing team either. It's kind of the like 2024 Pelicans with some reinforcements. That's all. Now, the Brooklyn Lakers is a lot of LA players, obviously, but like you've got Michael Porter Jr. here now who helps offense. Nicholas Claxton is here. But yeah, you can see how many Lakers players there really is here compared to Nets players, and that's just how it worked out. Next, you've got the Dallas Magic. This team is insane. AD, you're probably going to have to play the 5 because Paolo's not coming off the bench for Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively. Cooper Flagg will be off the bench. Jalen Suggs will be off the bench. Like, that team is going to be insane. The Sacramento Nuggets, Nikola Jokic and Domantas Sabonis, with DeRozan, Jamal Murray, Zach LaVine. It's a strange team for sure. I mean, they've got 2 of the, players that play very similar in Sabonis and Jokic. Next, you got the Charlotte Knicks, which is another instance where, right, like, obviously LaMelo and Brandon Miller, but, like, other than that, the top, like, 5 of the top 7 players are all Knicks guys. To where, LaMelo probably play the 2, which means that Josh Hart will probably come off the bench because we'll move Mikal Bridges down or something like that. Both the Bridgeses are on the same team. They did get drafted like one after another. Oh, no, they were 10th and 12th. Good team. the Miami Warriors with Stephen Curry, Bam, Jimmy Butler back in Miami. I'm sure he's not too happy about that. Wiggins back to playing with his old squad with Draymond and Curry and all them. Again, don't really look too much at the overalls. This is not my roster. This is a random roster. So Steph Curry, 97, whatever. Bam, 90. Jimmy Butler's probably not an 88 anymore, but whatever. Next, you've got the Atlanta Pacers, which got a lot of similar-ish players, like two very small I guess not small for Halliburton, but two pass-first point guards, two, fours that can stretch the floor. This is a weird team as well. Don't know how well they'll work, but obviously all these good teams are going to make the playoffs because they've got the insane talent. But when it comes down to a series, we'll just have to see how it works. This team is crazy. I mean, Giannis probably going to slide to the 5. You got John Jaren. But after that, the overalls kind of dip off a little. Not a little, a lot. You go from 90 to 83. While some teams have 4 88 pluses or something like that, or 5 85 pluses. This isn't the team. The Los Angeles Clippers kind of just get like Kobe White and Vucevic because, again, Josh Giddey's not here. And then the rest of this team is really just the Clippers. So they didn't get much, but I'm sure they can make it work. This team, this is the Boston Suns. Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, all coming over to the Celtics to play with Tatum and Brown. And then our last team is the Philadelphia Pistons, which I feel like has got a lot of defense, a lot of good defense. Yeah. But those are our teams. I'm going to make sure that the lineups are appropriate. And then we're going to get to Simmons. So we are at the All-Star break, and I'm on the Washington Wizards, which is one of our merged teams technically. They are nowhere near 500. I almost want to look at standings, but the real reason I stopped is because I want to see if there are All-Stars that are like maybe aren't normally All-Stars. So the Brooklyn Lakers have already solidified a play-in spot. But this Washington team might not make the play-in? You're going to let Chicago, okay, they got Josh Giddey back, who's probably averaging career numbers. He is, but not what I expected. You're going to let this team be better than this? Which, I mean, this isn't amazing, but look at the depth. You're going to let Toronto? Look at Toronto. Toronto has nothing. And I think the rest of those teams. No, one of these teams, Indiana. This team, like, is going crazy like this? Over 1, 2, 3 of our teams? Okay. So the East is tripping, I see. The Dallas Magic are 50-5. Wow. The Spurs are somehow over the Clippers and New Orleans and Memphis. What is... How? I don't understand. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. But I wanted to see our all-star participants. So a lot of this makes sense. Is there anyone not out east? Did anyone out west that doesn't typically do it make it? No? This is just the normal cast. I mean, like everyone here's made it at least once before. Out east, yeah, everyone out there's made it at least once before as well. So nothing too crazy. We'll see you in playoffs. Here is your MVP. I was wondering if we were going to get some like outlandish numbers, and I mean those are good numbers, especially when you look at like the 3-point shooting and the splits and stuff. But you think about it more like there's like maybe 3 all-stars per team. I'm interested to see who won. Okay, Rookie of the Year went to Yakachonis. Jalen Duren won 6th Man of the Year, shooting 6% from 3. How many threes is Jalen Duren attempting? Okay, sure. Vic won DPOY, only 2.5 blocks, but 2 steals, 26 and 13. Jarris Walker most improved. I mean, yeah, I mean, did a lot more for sure. Embiid wins Clutch Player of the Year, and Jason Kidd wins Coach of the Year, 71 and 11. First team, Josh Giddey, 22, 11, and 5.5. Got Josh Giddey on. Did the Bulls make the playoffs? Because there's no way that you get all NBA and didn't make the playoffs. No way. I mean, we can look at. So we saw these guys' numbers. Jokic, 20, 12, and 9. We saw Embiid. LeBron, what did you do? Didn't average 20, not even per 36. Morant. Giannis also didn't even average 20. Tatum averaged 22. Shea averaged 20 and 8. Harden averaged 16 and 11. Cade averaged 22. LaMelo averaged 18. Trae Young. I did start both him and Halliburton, by the way. As you clearly can see, they both made it. So 9 assists and 9. They averaged the exact same assists. I mean, pretty similar numbers, like shooting wise and everything. So, here are your defensive teams. Isaiah Jackson, interesting. Amen Thompson did not start, by the way. So he did this off the bench, unless they started. They only started 26 games. And then here are your rookie teams. All right. Now let's see the playoffs. So Memphis is the 10 seed. So is anyone missing? So there are 8 teams out west. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at least everyone made the play in out west. Granted, Memphis didn't live up to expectations for, I guess San Antonio and Golden State were better than them for whatever reason. And then out east, we've got 6 teams in the playoffs. So that means the Wizards need to be a play-in team. And they are. They're just a 10 seed. That's so crazy. Okay, so let's simulate through the game. The Wizards lost. Which means so Memphis has to win to be in. And they do. So the only team that didn't make it is the Washington Jazz. Which, I mean, you think about it, kind of makes sense. But those teams are better than what Toronto and Indiana are. So let's simulate a little bit of the rounds, just to see kind of how it goes. I mean, we'll have a team 100%. I mean, we'll have teams representing the finals, but it's just kind of seeing how easy some people might handle their competition. Memphis out, Charlotte out, New Orleans, Celtics, Clippers. Oh, slow down. Okay, so Brooklyn beat Toronto 4-1. Philly beat Charlotte 4-1. Makes sense. I'm kind of surprised the Boston Suns lost. And then that makes sense, especially since they were the 3 seed versus 6 seed. And then everything out here makes sense. OKC already swept Houston. Wow. Okay. Let's simulate again, see who our conference finals teams are. So we've got the Brooklyn Lakers versus the Atlanta Pacers, and then the Dallas Magic versus the Oklahoma City Spurs. So this is what the matchup is looking like. Man, I mean, it is Luka and LeBron, right? But I mean, in Atlanta looks more complete, but for sure. And then over here, I mean, you can't get much like those teams are both super complete, but you can't pick against OKC, right? That team won the finals last year. They added Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle and a couple other guys. Like that front court is insane. Defensively, this might be like one of the best defensive teams like ever. Let's through the first two games. So Dallas and Brooklyn are both up 3-0. Okay, OKC takes a game, but they lose. So it's going to be Kyrie versus Luka, former teammates. In a couple of ways, Kyrie was former teammates with LeBron and Luka. AD was former teammates with LeBron. Never Luka and AD got swapped for each other. But yeah, predict who you had winning. I meant to say predict who your team was when I showed you all the lineups before, but I forgot. But predict who you've got between this. Like, do you just take the sheer like names of Luka and LeBron, or do you take maybe the more complete team? I'm taking the more complete team. I'm taking Kyrie, Bane, Wagner, Paolo, and AD. Maybe it's a competitive. Not through the first two. They steal game 3. They lose game 4. They win game 5. And they go to 7. Who was the hero? Not really a hero. AD had a rough game. Paolo had a rough game. All right, well, let's simcast. I mean, it's game 7 of the NBA Finals, right? Dallas is killing. That first quarter was ugly, about as ugly as it gets. But I would be down to jump in if it gets close. But Brooklyn's really got to do something here. Score once more. Do we jump in? Why not? So Kyrie's at the free throw line. And he misses the first one. Wow. So Ian comes out, Claxton comes in. It looks like the lineups are about as good as it. Magic have their whole lineup out there, but there's no Luka. Has Luka fouled out? Luka did foul out. He fouled out in 28 minutes. So it's up to Michael Porter Jr. and LeBron. Interesting. All right. No Luka, but this is game 7, as close as it gets. Dallas is up 4. Can LeBron do it? Can he come back from down 3-1 again? But this time he's without Kyrie. That's a rough miss. LeBron's wearing number 41 for whatever reason, and Kyrie blows right past Franz. I don't know. I'm going to give him one more, but might not be a good sign. LeBron, what's he doing with these pull-ups? I don't really like that, but he made it. They're going to free throw? No. Paolo is wide open on the other end of the court. They steal the ball. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wow. That's not good. That's a rough thing. They're not going to foul. They're playing a dangerous game here. Both teams. I mean, not fouling, letting a clock. I mean, they're probably going to foul, I assume, before it hits like 10 seconds, right? Or are they going to let them shoot and just take their chances? They're going to let them shoot. Kyrie for game. Bang. That's the chance you take when you don't foul. I mean, it's pretty much all but over, but we can entertain the the idea of it. Kyrie with another one of the clutchest shots in NBA history. Granted, he was on the other side of the 3-1 this time, and Reeves isn't even going to get a shot up. They're just going to let him have it. Wow. What a way to end it off. Cooper Flag gets a rookie. Clay gets another ring. Kyrie and AD get another ring. All those other guys getting their first. Franz Wagner is holding the trophy. I wonder who got. I would assume Kyrie got Finals MVP. He had 28 in the closing game. Yeah, 25, 3, and 4. Kyrie proves that he can do it. He can be the number one guy, even though he had Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, AD, Desmond Bane. But he finally did it. But that'll do it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you like my content. Also like and comment, because you can get your favorite NBA moment put up on the wall behind us for a video. And I will shout you out as well. But thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and that's all from me.